Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna have a One Piece sketchbook tour. I think we are gonna be in the 6th video that we are doing more or less of sketchbook tours. I've been doing plenty of characters, plenty of theories, plenty of One Piece episodes analysis, and I'm gonna put here on the side the playlist. So if you wanna watch from the very beginning, all of them, you can watch one after another. I think the videos are, some of them are like half an hour, 40 minutes. I have around 20, 30 drawings in each one of them. This one I think is gonna be a little bit shorter, maybe about 10 drawings more or less, but I think it's necessary because this arc of Elbaf, this saga, is coming quite packed. So let's start with our hammer that is transformed into a squirrel, Ratatosk concept from Norse mythology. So in this video, basically I explain how Oda is taking references from Norse mythology, from the concept of, you know, the Yggdrasil tree, the tree that is ginormous, holding all the realms of the Norse mythology, basically. And there is this squirrel that goes up and down the tree, bothering the worm at the bottom of the tree, that is like a giant worm representing a dragon, that this will be Loki in this One Piece caricature of the Norse mythology, and goes to the top of the tree as well, bothering a creature, a ginormous eagle on top of the tree. So in this video as well I explain how basically we need to go to the very top of the tree. We need to find whatever kind of flying creature, in my opinion, some sort of rock. Rock is a ginormous eagle, basically. And that is gonna be let's say, Sky King. Like we have the Sea Kings controlled by Shirahoshi, we will have these ones as well in the skies, controlled by another figure that is gonna be friend of ours. In my opinion, that is gonna be Bibi. That's why Bibi is going now towards Luffy, okay? So that is explaining all of this through Norse mythology, is explaining as well the color, how I think I painted this in purples and blues, because I think it's gonna match Loki. Loki is a very nicely character designed in terms of colors as well, and like Shirahoshi, for example, or Bibi, that they have the purples, the blues, the pinks. I think the squirrel needs to match. I don't think Oda will do a traditional, you know, red squirrel or grey squirrel. I think he's gonna go for something more fantastic. I explain as well the concept of Vegapunk, mixing weapons with animals, with fruits, and having these kind of creatures. This is not Vegapunk, this is from much before. This, in theory, is from the Void Century, when Joy Boy, when Emmet, when Imu happened, and all of this. So I am very interested in know more about Ratatosk and the ice powers, because the ice powers belong to this character, not to Loki, okay? So I wanna see how all of that is gonna pan in the story. As well, I have to say, this video that, by the way, I'm gonna just put it here, because this is one of those different videos I do every now and then, is drawn with my left hand. I have the playlist, that you will find there as well if you click in this video, of characters, maybe smaller characters that are easier to draw, that I'm drawing with my left hand, just to practice, just to do something different, just to do something funny. So, have a look, because I think this is one of my favorite drawings, and it's very funny as well, and the conversation is very interesting in my opinion. So then, I have this theory about Jozu, that I think his Akuma no Mi is key for the story, specifically for Zorro storyline. Zorro versus Mr. One, the end of that battle was, what are you gonna cut next? Diamond? He should cut diamond. That is, in theory, the strongest material in Earth, okay? Apart from things like Karoseki in One Piece, adamantium as well, that we have with the concept of Wolverine in X-Men and things like this, we need to cut diamond, okay? In Marineford, Mihawk throws a flying attack to Whitebeard Jozu without Haki. He's not covered in Haki. He stops the slash. Okay? Is this telling us that Mihawk cannot cut Diamond? That is his limit? It could be. So Zorro needs to cut Diamond. Jozu is a good guy. Jozu has lost his arms in that fight, in that Marineford fight, and we are not gonna fight him. So my whole theory is about Vista being a bad guy, Vista being one of Blackbeard pirates, the first in command, like Zorro, and being on his own for a while, hunting this guy to get the fruit. His shape of diamond body tells us a lot of how his fruit could go, and that's gonna be Zorro's final fight. I know it's a little bit, maybe, if you never heard about this, out of the blue, but check the theories regarding Jozu I have in the channel, regarding Vista, regarding Shiryu, regarding Zorro, and all of them are kind of explaining why this is the only thing that can happen with Zorro at the end of the story. I don't think there is a character like Shiryu able to fight Zorro at the moment. So we need to find someone very strong that is specifically swordsman, specifically having a protection power like Haki, and the extra of the Akuma no Mi that it will be. This will be perfection, in my opinion. I want to know your opinion as well in the comment section below, so we can open conversation, okay? So I enjoyed very much drawing this because I love to draw these bulky characters more like Shanks, Zorro, Luffy, that they are more proportionate. I like to draw the bulky characters. So here, analyzing episode, we're drawing Brook when he's all wrapped. I'm explaining why the connections with Gunko, how the connections with Gunko could be as well, and you know, talking a little bit about Elbaf, because Elbaf, the episodes are being packed one after another, and I cannot wait to see the whole scope of this story. This story is setting the whole final arc that we are gonna have probably in 1 or 2 arcs time. I suspect we will have Elbaf. After Elbaf, I suspect we are gonna have to go to Marijoa for a brief period of time. I think the tree, the Adam tree, that is the one in Elbaf, the ginormous tree, I think is gonna be cut, it's gonna be destroyed. I'm saying this since the very beginning I started the channel, that tree needs to fall, and how it's so big, it's gonna fall on top of Pangea in the castle, and then the fight continues in Marijoa with the Straw Hats, okay? I don't think it's our role to defeat the world government. I think that's Dragon, the Revolutionaries, Sabo, but we need to fall there to learn more about history, to know more from the side of Nico Robin, okay? So she needs to unravel more things. There needs to be secrets there, like the ginormous hat, that she needs to see, in my opinion, or she needs to unravel, in my opinion. So all of this obviously connected to that, I think all the Sky Islands with clouds, with string clouds, that is similar to what Doflamingo uses for his power, are attached to the top of the tree, in my opinion, and when the tree falls, all of those islands are going to be pulled down and they're going to start falling into the blue sea. And that's why we have the Sky Kings, that is going to be this rock on top of the Yggdrasil, or many other birds, ginormous birds on top of the tree as well, that, in my opinion, Bibi is the one that is going to be able to not control them, because I don't want to say control. I think this is more like a communion, that she's connected with them and they are Nakamas. They are going to help her to take all of those civilizations, islands, people, you know, sky people, and save them, you know. Very important thing here is that if you remember in Alabasta Saga, Pell survived, and it's been a big controversy. Never been explained why, and I think this is because in the Yggdrasil mythology, in the Norse mythology concept of the tree as well, you have this ginormous eagle, and on top of his head, in between his eyes, there is a falcon, okay? This is an unnamed falcon in the mythology, but if Oda is gonna play this card where Bibi is gonna be able to control these animals, let's say, and Pale is there to help her while he is actually a falcon, so it could be fitting for the story, okay? If Oda haven't thought about this, maybe if at some point he reaches this video, it's gonna be interesting. Here I'm drawing column with his mom, okay, with Ripley. She's hugging him because this is the moment. I thought I wanted to draw this because it's a very emotional moment when Summers is wrapping them all with the spikes, with the thorns, and Gunko is leading them to the cliff, and they are gonna be about to jump involuntarily from the cliff and die basically. So the parents start hugging the kids and they fall together. Like if they are gonna die together. It was a very emotional moment. I think when this is animated in for the anime, for the show, it's gonna be nicely animated, nicely recreated in a way that we may even cry a little bit. This was a very emotional part, in my opinion, for me, and I enjoyed it so much. And I wanted to draw this very nice moment of family. The kids end up being saved, obviously, but yeah, this is while talking about that chapter in One Piece, my opinion about my analysis and my opinion about the episode. So here we have Don Krieg. I remember doing this drawing as well at the same time that I was starting watching the live action. I've been doing analysis of the whole live action so far, season 1 and season 2. I'm gonna put it here as well if you wanna watch it, and drawing caricature of the actors and talking about the things that are similar, the things that are not similar, the things that I liked, the things that I don't like, and the things that I would have included as well, and things that small details that they have put there that for someone who is reading One Piece all the time, you can notice these things. So analyzing basically. Don Krieg, I love Don Krieg. I went for a cartoony aspect of him. I like to do a little bit more my cartoony style into them. Sometimes I draw them more One Piece, sometimes I draw them more cartoony. This one I decided to go for cartoony because I like the type of body that Oda creates where the torso is larger and the legs are thinner, like the bulky ones, when I was talking about Jozu. And Don Krieg is in Hachinosu with Jean and with Pearl. And I'm talking about this in the story, how this guy was destroyed, was back to where he belonged, okay, and he managed to rebuild himself, and by rebuilding himself, go into the Grand Line again, cross the first half of the Grand Line, cross through Shabondi, probably, and through Gyojin Island, and then go into the New World, because Hachinosu is in the New World. So that is crazy for someone at his level of power. That is crazy. So these guys must have get very, very strong. I don't need them to fight again. I don't need them to interact much with Straw Hats again. But it would be interesting that maybe Sanji crosses a couple of words with Jean, a little bit of conversation, so we know how. I don't discard the idea that maybe in a filler anime, Toei is gonna make something about this. I tried to draw him with some of his weapons, the spear. This is the explosive parts that he's gonna put here afterwards. The mask is there, but the mask, because I painted too dark at the end, you can't see much the mask. The spikes from the coat, and then the diamond fist and everything. So I enjoyed very much drawing this guy, and I want to draw more characters like this from Pre-Time Skip, because me as a fan from the very beginning, I enjoy more the beginning, in my opinion. I love now the lore, I love now all what is happening, but deep in my heart, this is what I started watching, and this is the part I like the most, when they are Pre-Time Skip. But depending on the season, you can like one thing more and one thing less. So here, in this one, obviously, again, analyzing episode, drawing Nidhogg, that this is Loki transformed into Nidhogg. Nidhogg as well, as we are learning with the latest development that up to 1181, okay, that it's out already. We see how this fruit is legendary as well. It comes from the times of Imu, it comes from the times of Joy Boy and everything, and Imu has a particular interest in this one and in the Sun God Nika with the Joy Boy concept as well. We don't know how this is gonna pan yet, but there is a lot of frustration within Imu. I explain the concept of the eye with Imu. The circles is not a specific power like in Naruto with the Rinnegan. I think this is frustration. This is something that is upsetting Imu very much. That's why the eyes are all the time like this. If you notice, sometimes we see when Nico Robin, when Nami, when someone, most of the time female, is upset, the eyes are like that, okay? It's not only Mihawk. Mihawk as well has those eyes because I think he has a frustration and he has a problem. And all of this, I think, is going to be explained with the story that we're going to be knowing soon in the manga, connecting Joy Boy, connecting Imu, and connecting Nidhogg, and the rest of the, mythological creatures or gods from that aspect, okay? I could have very well done an analysis of 1181 today, but I think I prefer to wait until next week so we can have a little bit more of context and maybe do a double episode together. It could be good as well. So because there's things happening in this episode, but I don't want to draw Imu again or draw Loki again. Maybe I want to draw Loki full body that I haven't drawn yet, but I want to wait a little bit. So that's why we are doing as well today a little bit of a sketchbook tour, okay? So another interesting concept with this one is the Domi Reversi that we have seen. This is kind of the max power that Imu has shown when she's able to, or he, because it looks androgynous. Sometimes it looks like a man, sometimes it looks like a woman. I think it's an androgynous character. So the Domi Reversi is that max technique that Imu has, and we have learned now that Chopper with a slap is able to remove the demon from inside. This, at the beginning of this channel, I started talking about Chopper being the panacea. I'm gonna put the theory here. And I think this is obviously strictly related to his fruit, strictly related to that fruit being one of those legendary fruits like Luffy, maybe the god of something. It doesn't have to be the forest that people is talking, but it has to be one of those mythological fruits as well. And that's why Blackbeard was in Drum Island. I explained this in many of my videos, but we want to see more about Chopper, we want to learn more about Chopper, and the awakening that Chopper may have is going to be more like a teenager looking with massive horns, like his new horn point that we haven't seen much, to be honest, since Gyojin Island basically, and with the clouds around, childish. The monster point, that in theory it looks like a badly awakened Impel Down jailer type of form, that is, as we said, Rumble Ball, forced awakening, bad awakening. So once Chopper awakens, because he needs to awaken properly, looking like Luffy more or less, we will have all this explanation. I don't think that's far. I think that is, as you can see now, strictly connected to Imu, and strictly connected to the demon concept and the saving of all these demons. So I don't think we need to, in Elbaf, now go in another storyline and not carry on with that. So we will have answers during Elbaf regarding Chopper. I expect, okay, I expect that. So, next one is Gunko. I'm drawing here Gunko in that scene when he's being the Imu kind of contamination, the darkness that Imu has, that is basically like a ghostly image, you know, some sort of petrol or something. It's kind of being shoot out of her body. and then she shows up like a shadow, basically, a little bit like Gecko Moria, a little bit like Big Mom concept, that their powers, like a mix of those two powers. And here I'm analyzing the episode as well, and explaining how Gunko is some sort of a vessel, like we have Sasuke as well in Naruto, and Imu wants to have Bibi to be the vessel, to take over the body, but in the meantime, how he can't find her, he's using Gunko, okay? And the concept of the color of the hairs as well, comparing Bibi with the blue hair and Nami with the orange hair as well. So, this is the face reveal of Imu. Unexpected to see her or him coming out of the blue. The Gurusei is not coming, the Marines are not coming, so Imu says, I am gonna go, and, you know, it's just showing up here in Elbaf, unexpected. I do not think Imu can lose. I'm gonna pass to the other one because it's as well Imu. This is the last one, okay? I don't think Imu can lose this fight. We had the Gorosei losing in Egghead, all of them lost. We have the God's Knights losing in Elbaf, all of them lost, all of them were captured by us, by the Straw Hats. And then Imu shows up in the real form, okay? Now, she came out of this cocoon, this vessel, that in my opinion was Nefertari D. Lily still. That was why the body was so weak, because it needs another vessel to survive. This seems to be the devil. I said since the very beginning that Imu was gonna be Satan, was gonna be the devil, the angel that fell, the representation, the caricaturation, you can say it however you want, of Lucifer, okay, the fallen angel, and all the demons and everything started with this character. So this is what we are seeing in One Piece at the moment. So the way of fighting that Imu is having as well, with this kind of aura around his head, is not around his head like a awakening, it is floating behind like a circle. So this is another type of power. I don't think this is awakened. I think this is the fruit itself. This is the devil itself. Maybe in Pangea we have the tree, that the tree of the Akuma no Mi is born from Imu, maybe. That's why Imu has basically all the powers. We have seen as well now gigantification, that he was able to change the size of the body and be as big as Loki, that it is a giant. And we are going to be seeing more things, okay? It's interesting, this concept of dark magic that we have been seeing here, and the eyes as well, a little bit like, you know, with Lord of the Rings, like the eye is watching you, controlling everything, a little bit as well with the concept of Naruto with the Rinnegan, that I say is because this character has a frustration, has a disappointment that upset the character like 900 years ago, that was the betrayal of Lily, the betrayal or the facing off with Joy Boy, the frustration of winning, okay, winning, but not in the conditions that you wanted, okay, or not getting everything that you wanted. There is a frustration there. I find very interesting as well the outfit choice that Oda picked for the character, being a blend between Elbaf type of outfit, Oni type of design, Enel type of design. One Piece was made for a 5 years timeline in real time for a story about Enel, more or less, and that was the end. So Enel and Skypiea and whatever is happening in that saga with the falling again, the falling of the beam, okay, the falling of the islands, the destroy of the islands, the Enel thinking that he is superior to everyone because he is an element, okay, like this is a god as well as an element, is something, let's say, immaterial basically. And the references from all the races of the world, when he is opening the wings like a Lunarian, with the horns like the Onis, okay, so it's very interesting to see what's gonna happen with this. If I can, I will put my Nami theory here to finish. In that theory I say Nami is the daughter of this character. Nami comes from 900 years ago, and whoever had Toki's fruit before Toki moved Nami to the present time, obviously, and as a baby was found by Belemer, okay? Nojiko was from the present time, and Nojiko ended up maybe receiving Nami, and then Belemer found both of them, okay, and adopted them. I think when we have the color scheme reveal for Imu in this form, the hair like this, the flowing type of sun god type of hair, that he could be perfectly the warrior of liberation is Luffy, and the warrior of destroy of that can be maybe Imu, because they look pretty similar. In this design, the hair is gonna be orange, in my opinion, like Nami. Okay, watch that theory. And when Imu is in that silhouette form, that it looks more like feminine silhouette, it looks more like Nefertari the Lily silhouette actually. The hair is gonna be blue, and there was some sort of connection, love connection, friendship connection, nakama, camaraderie connection. There is something going on there. If Oda doesn't want to go for the love concept, he's gonna play that card of nakama or brotherhood with Lily and Imu, and that's why this character wanted to take over the body, and that's why he's obsessed now with the blue hair. For example, Gunko with blue hair, and probably, hopefully, there is some Buggy connections here as well, because Buggy is gonna be everywhere. Everywhere he's gonna be, and he's gonna become everything. So he needs to be involved somehow here, okay? So if Buggy ends up being some sort of Nefertari as well, and because if you remember, Lily was the queen, and Lily said, I am not gonna join the 20, I'm gonna come back to Alabasta. She never returned. She disappeared. Okay? She never returned. That's because this bad guy took over the body. Okay? Like with the OP, swapped the hearts and took over the body. Okay? So the brother of Lily started ruling Alabasta 900 years ago, and Bibi descends from that guy, the brother of Lily. Okay? If Buggy somehow originally comes from that line as well, it could be very cool, to be honest. There is a lore of clowns, okay, and the concept of clown as well with the Egyptians in real history, and the jesters in real history, and Oda could play this card. Oda loves mythology, loves lore, loves cultures, and he blends and mixes and, you know, puts together this collage of stories with everything that he knows. So it could be interesting. I wouldn't discard the idea. I know that it's a little bit crazy, but I wouldn't discard the idea, okay? I mentioned this in a couple of videos ago, and I wouldn't discard that concept, okay? So this is the last drawing I have so far. Probably next video we will continue analyzing more episodes, drawing more characters, and making more theories. But for now, this is like 10, 11 drawings. This is One Piece recap number 6 probably. And yeah, we finished for today. So this is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragonscape. I hope you enjoyed the video, the sketchbook tour, the analysis of all these characters, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.